Blessings and greetings from Brazil. And here, welcome to Silvia TV. This channel has been full of wonderful interviews recently in English because normally I have been interviewing Brazilian people, but we were so blessed during this conference, the international conference here in Brazil. So now I have this wonderful couple that I could not miss the opportunity to let them share with us a little bit of their lives and what the Lord has done into their lives. So here I have, so you can tell us your name, where you're from, and then how you two come together.
So my name is Kamila. We are from Poland. And we are so blessed because we can be here in Brazil now. And it's summer, which is great. So it's very hot. In Poland, it's minus 12 now,
Whoa,
which is,
my goodness.
very, very cold. So we enjoy the weather. We are happy to be here. We are from Poland, but actually we live in England now. And how we met, it was 16 years ago, actually, we got married, but we met
Long time ago.
Yeah, long
Yeah,
time
long
ago.
time ago.
Long time ago, although we are very young still.
Wonderful. Well, but let you as well introduce yourself.
Yeah. So my name is Filip. I'm Polish as well. Husband of my beautiful wife.
Jeez, indeed.
We have 3 beautiful daughters. And yeah, as Camila mentioned, we live in England. We've been in England for 5 years. And previously we lived in Germany also 5 years in the House of Prayer as a House of Prayer missionaries. Yeah.
That's wonderful. So I am here. That's wonderful. We are sharing the microphone, as you see. I'm so happy to hear because I always heard of House of Prayer. So it'd be nice if you can share with us a little bit how House of Prayer works, and then how suddenly you heard of Divine. So because I did meet you a few years ago. How long is that?
6 years ago.
6 years ago, I met Camila. It's
Yes.
so lovely. That's why I constantly speak about connection.
Yeah.
How God connect people for a purpose. We never meet anyone or anybody just a coincidence,
Yes.
by chance. No,
Yes.
every single friendship, every single hello, behind that hello, there is like God's appointment. So hey, in the future somehow you're going to meet again for a purpose. So I do remember you well 6 years ago, and I remember you
Yes.
calling your husband, and I follow you guys during this. You're a very romantic couple. It's very sweet the way you treat
Thank
each
you.
other.
Thank
So
you.
tell us a little bit more about the House of Prayer.
So our whole journey started probably around 12 years ago. Back then in Poland, we were working with youth as a youth leaders and youth worship leader, and
Worship leader.
as well. Yes, yeah. So
Where is that guitar?
yeah, back there.
Well, let's
yeah,
get
We
it
couldn't take
I
one.
can't believe.
yeah, I couldn't take my guitar, but yeah, my
We have guitars
Yes, of
here. I
course.
haven't seen you playing the guitar yet.
No excuse
tonight.
then. No excuse. Yeah. So we organized a summer camp for our youth every summer, and once we decided to do this in the Christian center in Germany, because our town where we come from is pretty close to the border. And actually, I find out that a place called Herrnhut, well known from Moravian movement, church history, Count Zinzendorf,
Can you believe it?
a place where there was a beautiful revival back in 1700, where just out of the revival, many beautiful things started. Like the local church sent out 2,000 missionaries back then. And they were praying continuously for like 24/7 for over 120 years. So this is the place that actually we found is only like 2 hours drive from our town, and we went there with our leaders, and we decided, yeah, this is a place where we're gonna have a summer camp with the youth. Wow. So during the camp, we worked for the Christian Center half of the time, and half of the time we just rested, had a really good time. And of course, it was the opportunity to get to know the place, people, leaders. And they were like, hey, if you'd like to come sometime in future, you are more than welcome. We receive families as well. And because when we got married, we knew kind of a path, like what God was telling us and has spoken. It was about worship, about kids, and about house of prayer.
Wow.
So
I like the three things: kids,
yeah.
prayer, worship.
Yeah. So it was really it always been on our heart a lot. And we started praying, and sometimes like with a dream, you just all you can do, you just can give it to God and kind of wait for a proper timing. So we sort of put this idea on the shelf, and it took around 2 years until we actually were sent by the local church there. And we started our journey as a missionaries, and we lived there 5 years, living in the community, English-speaking community, with people together with 2 little kids, and yeah, just having impact on that place, and it was a beautiful adventure. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, let me ask Camila, so how was your childhood? Did you meet Jesus later on, or you were brought up in a Christian environment?
So for me, I was 16, and I met some people from Baptist church, and they introduced me Jesus. But it was, so they organized some meetings for youth, and so we had some games, and they were teaching us English, but also we had some topics. We went deeper with topics around faith and beliefs, and just things that young people face. And I realized that actually I haven't thought about God in such a way. And I went for a winter camp with them, and there was a worship, and God's presence just changed my life. So I saw that actually God can be real, and this is a person, not religion. And so this encounter changed everything. Then few things happened. I was dealing with few things in my life. So there was ups and downs, but there was again another moment when God touched my heart so deeply, and I said, okay, I really want to give my life to Jesus, because I know He's real. And I felt like physically that He took some chain from my heart, and that was very strong for me. And that actually changed everything. And since that time, I said to God yes. And until now, I'm really happy that He's in my life, and He's leading me. He's showing me how to be a good mom, good wife, how to overcome things, because life is life. We have challenges, and of course we will face things in our lives. God never said that we will be happy, clappy people, but we have challenges, but He helps us overcome them. So this is something what I love about God, that He's not trying to make everything good, but He helps me to overcome things, and that's amazing. That's the best thing. Yeah.
Is it not wonderful that you can see that we are different countries, different languages, culture, so different, but then one single Jesus,
Yes,
who is the same everywhere in the world, and he's the same yesterday, today, and forevermore, and he's still working. I love asking people, say, when Jesus comes into your story, because that question will bring like a defined line of before and after. It's like a new season starts, a new story starts. And how did it happen to you, Philip?
Yeah, I think every meeting with Jesus, when we just meet Jesus, is a miracle, really. So it's really really exciting, and not so long ago we were running some Bible study for Polish people in England, and one of the tasks, it was actually to write our testimony, and we did as well, and after like it will be like 20 something years. It's just, I was reading it, I was crying, God, what you've done in my life, and it's just really really moving, like story for myself, of course, because I remember that emotions, this very first time with Jesus, this very first time with his presence. I didn't really know what I'm dealing with, then, but yeah, I met Jesus when I was 17. I went to visit my family in South Germany. They were Christians. My family, we weren't Christians. We were like born as a Catholics. So I always knew kind of that God exists. But yeah, when I was 17, I was in the place where I really needed God, and my mom, even though she didn't meet Jesus back then, she prayed for the solution. What shall I do with my son? and she had the idea from heaven that just sent him down there to Germany, because there was only one place where would be okay to go without my friends, my girlfriend back then, and I was like, yeah, sure. I always wanted to go to visit them, to see the place, and I went there. And my aunt gave me the book, David Wicker's on Nicky Cruz.
Nicky Cruz, of course.
So it was really amazing. Then my uncle was chatting with me, my cousins, and he had also really, really beautiful story, how he met Jesus and what got transformed totally. So we were chatting a lot, and then last days my cousin, she took me to the conference in Switzerland. There was Leviten camp, which is like the camp of Levites, and worshippers, and there was like 6,000 people in the big tent. Whoa. From the whole Europe, and all I remember when worship started, which for me was just some guys playing in the front, just that the presence hit me so much that I ended up on my knees just praying and crying, and I didn't know what that was, but I knew that this is something. This is good. I want this.
And I want to experience.
And then when we came back the next day, of course we talked, and then they asked me, "Hey Philip, you want to receive Jesus?" I was like, "Yeah, what shall I do?" And I did. And the beautiful peace just came down, and when I was back. I was like 17 hours by coach back to Poland, and I was back in the morning. My parents picked me up from another place. We stayed in the hotel very in the morning. We had breakfast, and I was telling my mom, "Hey, I met Jesus," and my mom started crying and said, "I knew it." And like 2 weeks after, she got saved again as well. So it was really, really beautiful. So this is how the whole journey started for me.
Wow. I get so emotional, not because it's a religious thing to say. It's because the experience with Jesus, it's something so relevant in our days. I know people are searching, and some people just think that is, oh, don't talk about Jesus, because some people wants to be cool, and they think that being cool is saying anything else but not Jesus.
Yeah.
They can swear all day. They think it's really cool to swear. They're swearing, but then as soon as you speak the name of Jesus, they speak that about this person who comes and transforms life, they think that, oh, that's not for me. Thank you. That even today we're talking about so many people, they say, I'm good. I'm okay. Thank you. But let tell you, when somebody says stories just like them saying, you cannot deny that there is a person, even though it's not visible physically, but it's tangible. He can touch you and you can touch him. And it makes the difference. And I am here in the middle of a couple who had the experience with Jesus. I know you come from Poland, and there it's known as a Catholic country because one of the Pope came from.
Yes. Yeah.
What do you have to say about that? Which one of you want to talk about the cultural?
Yeah. So it's quite, because Brazil is also Catholic. I know, but I don't know much about the Catholicism here in this country. All I know, last years, there is a huge shift in the church, in the Catholic Church in Poland, and so many people really encounter Jesus, and I think God really has started doing something really beautiful within the church. Personally, we know people who are Catholics and are just full on walking with Jesus,
Yes.
and this is a beautiful thing. So yeah, I believe, yeah, Poland and probably the whole Europe needs. Yeah, we all need Jesus, and this was also a prayer back in Germany. I remember that Europe shall be saved. We had this evening prayers, just praying for Europe, for the nations, because we need transformed churches. The Reformation started in Europe, and somehow through people, godly people, the gospel was taken to another continents, and looks like now everything quenched, and we need this fresh revival and God's move again in Europe.
Amen.
Yeah.
And it's happening. I really know things are happening. I remember talking to you even about this Catholic kind of myth that in your country, but then you say that it's more like the old generation, because the new generation don't even kind of care about it, isn't it?
So I think it's changing now because people are tired about religion. Because they think God is a religion, so you can't do this, you can't do that, like you said before, right? But actually, it's not like that. You don't do things because you are free, not because you have to. So you are free to decide. You don't have to swear, or you don't have to drink, or you don't have to take drugs, because you are free. So
To say no.
yes. So
thank
you
very
don't do
much.
things because you are free, not because you have to, and God's saying, oh, you shouldn't do that, So that's the difference. And I think people start to see finally that God, it's not a religion. It's not like I can't do things, but actually He's a person, and He's real, and He can help us, and He can help us to deal with things. And I think this is amazing, that finally people see that, oh, okay, so God exists and He is a person. It's not religion. So yeah, it's amazing.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So we are trying to close this because our time is a very short moment here. But also I wanted you to tell us how did you hear about the Divine Church? How did Divine Church come into your lives?
Yeah, so it's Camila's story. Really. It started from her, so maybe she can briefly tell us.
So it's a beautiful story, actually, and how God is connecting people. I always amazed about that. To make the story short, God spoke to me about children. And when I saw children praying and really experiencing Holy Spirit and God in a move, I thought, I want to really live for that. I really want to be used by God for children. I want them to know God, that who He is, who they are, and to experience the same things as we experience, because we always think about children, oh, they are too small, so let's maybe take care of adults, and children, they will be more they will be older so they can experience God. But when God spoke to me about that, I shared with my friend, and he during that time he said, I know someone who is working with children, so I will send this message to this lady so she can contact you. And she contacted me. It was Pastor Gabriela.
Oh, Pastor
Yes,
Gabriela, I
lovely
knew
Pastor
somehow
Gabriela.
she would come along.
Yes. And she called me and she asked me if I want to come for a conference. And I said, it's not a good time, maybe. I have 2 kids, husband is working, full ministry, and maybe not a good
She was
time.
invited to conference in Brazil.
Yeah, and I asked her, where's the conference? And she said, in Brazil.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
like, okay. And when?
Busy.
Yeah, and she said, in 2 weeks. So I had 2 weeks.
That's Pastor Gabriela.
So
That's Divine Church.
God just really made a miracle, because we didn't have finances to buy a ticket and to organize everything. I didn't know where I'm going, who is Pastor Gabriela, And but in a miracle happened, and I could come here. And what I saw here was just amazing, because that was first time when I could see that people really work with children and they make disciples. And I said, I want to learn from them. So then we came to England to see how things operating here. So we came, and at the end of our trip, Pastor Gabriel said, so if you want to come to England, you are more than welcome. So we prayed.
I love Pastor Gabriel,
because
Pastor
we
Antonio.
never thought about England, but we prayed, and we were sure that this is our place to come, move from Germany. That was a challenge. I was pregnant, and then when we moved here, so our youngest one was 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So that was crazy story.
Yeah.
But we are there in England, happy, helping in the church and learning. So it's a blessing.
Praise the Lord. It's wonderful. And this is just a beginning of something, but I would like to ask Filip to finish our talk here with either a word of encouragement for young people or whatever you feel in your heart.
Yeah. I just like to encourage you. The word from Yeshua 1:9. Just be courageous. Don't be afraid, and God will be with you wherever you go. So we have. There is no too big dreams for God, and I'm a dreamer, and just want to inspire you and tell that just walking with Jesus is an amazing adventure.
Yes.
and might be full of steps that are not necessarily easy, but it's worth to just jump into this adventure with him and just do whatever he wants you to do. We just thank you for this
Thank you for the
interview.
invitation.
It's a privilege. Thank you so much.
Great joy to meet you, to have you over. And so stay tuned in the channel. Every week is coming up something special, and I'm sure the Lord has a great plan for your life. So don't stay just listening to voices that might be just to please others. Just listen to that voice that is already inside of you, telling you the way, telling you that you are chosen, that there is a bigger purpose for your life than just living life day by day. Okay, so thank you guys for sharing with us and inspiring
Thank
us to love Jesus even more. Yes.